Hi, my name is Marcin Kliks, and I'm a DevOps engineer at Allegro Group. I write Python software for bare metal management in data center. And over the years, I've really enjoyed this conference, so I'm really happy to make my first Fosdem contribution to show you Ralph project. So let's get started. First, I'd like to describe the problem Ralph tries to solve. And if you have a data center, you know for sure that there is no cloud. It's just someone else's computer, right? So you have to think about physical aspects of this management. You have to think about racks, servers, rooms, cables, and network. You have to think about power supply, PDU, patch panels, and brushes. And it's called hardware inventory, and no Puppet script can help you with that. So we discovered that hardware inventory sucks while managing our 2 data centers at Allegro Group for 5 years. So we want to fix it, finally. And why hardware inventory sucks? Without good software, you end up doing this. And that's fine, but sshconfig is not a good tool to store your precious hardware information. So probably you try to put it somewhere else, for example, for Google Docs. And this is even worse idea. So right now, Google knows your data center. So right now you have 2 options. You could end up like this, trying to manage your hardware, or gluing your Perl scripts to write your custom CMDB system, or you can buy $1 million software from big companies, which is of course closed source systems, so without the ability to customize it. And these companies have special names for such a software. It's called CMDB, dcim, asset management system, so you can buy it not 1 system, but 3 systems, and pay for 3 systems. And the reality is that what you really need is something that's between, that can be small and flexible. So over the years, we've tried to build something like that. And this is what Ralph 3 really is. It's single point of truth for your infrastructure. And we use it in 2 of our data centers in Poland with 5,000 server racks, rack servers. It's also used by another companies like banking institution or university in Poland. So all our internal systems are integrated with Ralph. So Puppet systems, load balancing, even Mesos and Marathon can share, can use Ralph information. So just let's see what type of information can be stored in Ralph. DC location, IP addresses. You eventually have to replace hardware at some point, so you have to manage the deprecation of the hardware, failure statistic, and licenses and supports. That's the funny part. I never thought that it's so complicated to store license and support. So yeah, there you have it. And of course, you have to do some capacity planning, and Ralph helps with that. At some point, you store other data because every company is different. So we allow to store your data, for example, domains and so on. So let's see what Ralph looks like. You see all racks here. This is data center overview. The green bars show you all of remaining space. So let's see what happens when you click on the rack. It takes you to the rack internals. You get blade servers, slots, brushes, patch panels, and many more information. The inspector shows you even more details, such as position, host name, classification, and status. So we can choose any server inside to go to another view. So let's go deeper. Okay, this is assets view, and this is even more detailed tier of data. Here you can access and modify location and configuration data, such as well as Puppet class. And this is the data center part. Here we can see a quick search to search using serial number, barcode, host name. And these are cards for context because there's a lot of information you can store for the asset. And let's look at some other data such as components. This is how hardware components such as processor, memory is presented. So you can fill it with your own discovery solution or manage by hand. You will quickly find that you have to bother with vendor supports as well for hardware they sold you. Sometimes you have to pay for it, and you want to never miss the renewal of support. So this module is very handy to see how many vendor supports is remaining. And the same goes for licensing management, license management for software. For example, when you must buy some Oracle database, sometimes you have to. Licenses module can help you with that because you store it as just another asset. And when you fill the Ralph database with the assets, you will see how many resources you used and how much is available to you. So it's nice GUI, and there's more features, but what really is important. We try to keep things simple, and Ralph doesn't do everything. So it doesn't do provisioning, it doesn't do deployment. We want to rely on other solutions, so you can easily integrate it with Terraform, for example, or OpenStack Ironic. So it's not provisioning or deployment solution. And we even decided that's a little bit crazy to use the system to manage, to dog fooding ourselves to manage all employees' assets as well. So laptops, monitors for 2,000 of Allegro Group employees. So for back office system, we provide some flexible workflow actions. So you can fire some action for some assets and customize it and write some plugin to, for example, generate PDF outprint to sign by employee. So it's really handy to have when you manage back office assets, which are quite different and the flow is quite different. So you can plug in any action. And the last essential feature is to have some sort of reporting system. So as you can see, we have 14 assets damaged, but 2026 in use in one of our data center, DC5. So the best user interface is no interface. So our sysadmins can use API and CLI. It's really nice. You can add, search, and export data from Ralph using Ralph CLI. And we even provide some mobile app to do, you can scan barcode and see all of Ralph information at a snap. So it's really easy when sysadmins are somewhere in the data center or in back office. This app will be open source in March. So when it comes to customization, it's really easy to hack on because it's all based on Django. So there is a lot of places where you can plug in your custom code. And I would like to highlight that Ralph 3.0 is rewritten from scratch in Python 3.4 because we love Python 3. And the code base is really small. It's 18,000 lines of code. The installation package is just 9 megabytes. And we learned that Docker is not the best solution to install it everywhere. So we decided to give 2 options to install using Debian package or just Docker. And you know, it's open source, so everything we do, we share with open source community. All of our sprints are publicly available. So we do agile at open source. So it's really easy to fork and customize it. So this is it. Thank you very much. This is, you can try out our demo. It's available, and thank you very much.
If it stops working, okay. I'll give you back the mic.
Okay.
No? Not working?
Any questions?
No. Right, okay. So we have a few minutes for questions. I see one here. It'll be a bit delayed because I'll have to bring the mic back because our speaker mics ran out of batteries. I've requested replacements.
Hello. How do you do the automatic inventory? Do you rely on Puppet or other tool like that, or you do it manually for the moment? I mean, inventory hardware and software on a host, inventorying monitors, all this kind of stuff.
So you have 2 options. You can manage it by hand or plug into your discovery solution. And we provide some scanner interfaces to scan software installed on the systems. But we believe that everybody else has own solution for that. So that's the reason we open the system so much that you can plug using API your own solution. So yes, we have some automation, but you can plug it with your own code as well.
Okay. It'll be a lot of running for me.
Okay, great presentation, thanks. And do you have any reservation system included in Ralph that would allow multiple teams to reserve 1 rack of hardware for, let's say, 2 weeks and then return to the pool of 3 available servers?
So we don't have such a functionality, but we have operations module. So you can, it's like issue tracker. So you can make action and assign asset to it, and it could be used for such a purpose. But strictly speaking, we don't have a reservation-like functionality.
Any other questions? I think we have time for just one, probably. No? All right, no, cheers. GitHub.
GitHub, yeah. You can search it in Google, GitHub Ralph. It's the first result. Yeah. GitHub.com. Allegro Ralph, yeah. I just forgot to do it.
All right, just I think that's all we'll have time for this talk. So I'll see you in 5 minutes for the next talk.